Okay, today we're going to show you how to use the D measure input sheet and look to the D measure reference list, the D measure list, to find the appropriate ref nodes. So notice that I'm here on the D measure upload sheet. This is the start here. It has some basic information. I'm going to do is go to the input. Today I'm going to input several reference numbers. So the first column says container name. This is an optional field, so I'm going to leave it blank. Funding source, I'm going to choose EEI for this measure. And I am first going to find a residential ductless heat pump measure. The reference number I don't know it offhand, so I'm going to go over to the interim reference D measure list. So notice that we are working in 2007 or 2010, so this is a key component. Please note that you will always be pulling from column B what's labeled as the EE Central reference number. So this is the reference number that will go into the system. The PTR reference number is there for your use. Maybe you need to do a VLOOKUP to cross-reference the measure list, but we're always looking to column B. The first thing I would like to do is filter down by heating zone and cooling zone. The important thing here is that you filter, that you choose both all heating zones and your specific heating zone. Some measures only are for all heating zones, like CFLs. So I'm going to choose all heating zones. I'm going to choose heating zone 3, which is my heating zone, and I'm going to do the same for cooling zone. This allows you to continue to leave that filter on and just find the measures that are applicable to your utility territory. So I'm going to choose all cooling zones and cooling zone 3. Now I'm going to leave that filter on, and then I'm going to find my specific measure. So the first measure I'm looking for is a residential ductless heat pump. So first I'm going to choose the residential sector. The end use is HVAC, so I'm going to filter down to HVAC. The category, I think the category is HVAC system, but I'm just going to leave that one blank because I'm not sure on category. So the key here is technology activity practice. This is kind of a measure name. So here's where I expect to find my ductless heat pumps. There it is. So I'm choosing my ductless heat pump, and there we go. There's my reference number. It's single family. The key characteristics allow you to make sure that it's the right measure, and this is a pretty simple one. So I'm going to come to B. So I'm going to right click on the reference number and choose copy. And I'm going to come back to my D measure upload sheet, and I'm going to paste that into the ref no column. Right click and paste. Okay. So for ductless heat pumps, I have a single installation at a home, and let's say that the completion date, I'm going to type in the 8-digit completion date, 08/01/2012. It was not at a federal facility, so I'm going to use my drop down and say no. A unique site ID, I'm going to type in the proxy site ID or account number, whatever allows you to find that unique site later. A site name, that is, do not put that in for a residential measure. And then the street address. So I'm going to type in a street address. And in the city, and I'm going to use my drop down for state. You can also type in as once you get used to those drop downs. And then I've got a zip. The zip can be either a 5-digit or a 9-digit. So I'm going to type in my 9-digit here. dash This is not a low-income measure, so I'm not going to put anything into the low-income measure cost or low-income repair cost, but if you do have a low-income measure, you'll enter that data, and that will be instead of the deemed reimbursement. A measure ID, this is optional for DHP, and let's say I do have an ID on that, so I will enter it there. A wildcard, this would be a project ID or anything that you have in your own system, so you can type something there. If you are PNGC, you would choose the BES ID for the serving utility, but if you're not PNGC, you leave that blank. And these calculators are for specific measures like the SIS measure, and so you can leave that blank. So we are done with that line. Obviously, this goes a lot quicker as you get to know the system. So if you have that same measure and you have it at a different site, you could copy down key information, for example, EEI and the RefNo. You could copy it, right-click copy. And click down, you could paste it in, and then you could enter a new completion date. And then enter site information. Alright, now we're going to go and find a CFL measure. I am also going to use EEI again. I'm going to come back to the interim reference D measure list. There are two ways. Notice that I have a lot of fields filtered, so anytime there's a little funnel, you can clear that either through one at a time, clear filter, and clear filter. You can also do an overall filter clearing through, you can also clear all filters through the data menu, but then you would need to put the heating and cooling zone filter back on. So I'm going to choose the residential sector again. And I know that my end use is lighting. And the category is, they're all lamps and fixtures, so I can leave that. And I know that I'm looking for a lamp, not a fixture. And I'm looking for a standard CFL. And notice the key characteristics 2 is any standard. So now I'm looking to key characteristics 3 and 4. Is it direct install, direct mail, retail? This is a retail. Okay, so now I'm filtered down enough to find my RefNo. So I'm going to come back over to column B. Going to copy that, right click copy. Come back over to my D measure upload sheet, and I'm going to right click paste. For this, I had 100 CFL, so I'm going to put a quantity of 100 in there. And a completion date of 10/1/2012. And notice that I didn't use an 8-digit, so I'm going to delete that. It is not a federal facility. Let's see. CFLs do not require site-specific information. You can see that here. You do need to consult the IM for the detail, but up here we give you some general guidance. Residential exceptions include CFLs, shower heads, appliances for the site-specific information. So I'm going to look over to see, do I need to enter anything else? It's not a low-income measure. It doesn't require measure ID. I don't have a wild card. And it's not a calculated measure. So I am done for CFLs. So the purpose of this was to give you some general examples of how to find measures and input them on the upload sheet. If you have specific questions about unique measures like low income or SIS, please contact your ear. Thank you.